Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to define your outer V. Very easy, and I know you're probably rolling your eyes if you are not familiar with using it or you haven't gotten it down yet. I know when you first start with makeup and trying to do that outer V and creating that kind of smoky effect really can be kind of hard and take some skills, but I promise once you practice a little bit and you kind of get it down and use the right tools, you'll have it in no time and it'll be a cinch. So let's just get started. So first off, what you're probably wondering if you are a beginner to the makeup world is what in the world is the outer V? What are you talking about? The outer V is located in the outer corner of your eyes. So, and I'll show you in the tutorial following after this where the actual location of it is, but it starts at, if you take, I'm just going to take a brush to point out the area. So starting from your lower lash line and where your upper lash line kind of meet in that corner, going up from there and kind of meeting where the end of your eyebrow is. Think of that as an invisible line there. That's where the outer V kind of begins, and then it ends and creates that V shape when you take it into your crease. So it's kind of like a sideways V like that on the outside of your eye, and you're just placing your eyeshadow there. And typically it's the darkest shade to your eyeshadow look, which will really create some definition into your eyeshadow and really just define your eyes and complete the look. Another important thing to creating that outer V and mastering that look is some brushes that you will need. If you want to make this easier for yourself, quicker and faster, you just need to have the right brushes. And you can find these tools very inexpensive. Almost every single brush that I use, I've purchased at either Target or the drugstore. So I'm going to be sharing a few of those with you. What you also need to know is your eye shape and how much space you're working with. That really makes a difference. Now for me, my eyes, I really don't have that much space that I'm working with. I do have on the smaller size set eyes. So for me, my liking and the best type of brushes that work for me when I'm creating my outer V is the pencil brush. And so if you have smaller to medium, then the pencil brush is what I would recommend for you girls that are trying to create that outer V shape. So as you can see, the pencil brush has a small tip, and I have a couple different ones, and like I said, these are all inexpensive. My favorite one that I use almost every single day is by Coastal Scents, and this is the name. So this one is kind of in the middle, in between. It's a little dense, but also it does have some good movement. That's what I would recommend, because that way you can still move that color around while still having it dense enough to place that color in there, just enough to get that V shape. Another pencil brush I have is by Essence of Beauty, and I got this from CVS. This one's a little bit more flexible, as you can see. It still has those kind of like a tip to it, which is nice because then you can still get some good placement of the eyeshadow. But it also does have a lot of movement, a little bit more so than the Coastal Scents. So that's going to be good to kind of blend that color out as well. And this one is by Sonia Kashuk, which I got at Target. This one is the most dense one that I have. And so if you just want something to pack on that color and really, really get that defined outer V, then I would recommend is an angled brush. And this again is by Essence of Beauty, and I purchased this at CVS. So it has that angled, and this one's kind of on the larger side. You can get these in different sizes. What you can do with the angled brush is dip that in the eyeshadow, and then you can just pat, 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 and it already created that V because of that angle. If you have larger set eyes, and lucky you have lots of room to play with your eyeshadows, then you would probably do best with a fluffier kind of crease brush. And I have a few different ones of those as well. And this is by e.l.f. and this was $1. So I ordered this online at eyeslipsface.com, but they do also sell these at Target as well. And this one, as you can see, is more, it's kind of a smaller fluffy crease brush, but this one's fluffier. So you're gonna kind of create that outer V and also blend it at the same time. So that one's nice. I really love that brush. Another option is, this one's a little bit larger. I'll hold them up next to each other. As you can see, this one's the e.l.f. one. It's a little bit smaller than this one. And this one is by StudioTools, and I got this one at Target, and I think it was about $5. And it's very fluffy. It's kind of got a lot more movement, and I use this one for blending. So then lastly, another brush I have to show you, this is by MAC, and it's the 217 brush. And this one is kind of a mix of the two. It's a little bit on the dense side, but also has some good movement. So you can really get, kind of comes up tapered a little bit, so a little bit to a point. So you can still create that outer V shape, but also blend at the same time. So these are the two brushes that I would recommend. One pencil brush, you're gonna need it for creating that outer V and placing that color a little bit more dense. And then the second brush you're gonna need is the blending brush, and that way you can move that color out and just blend it and top off. If you're curious, the eyeshadows I'm gonna be using in this tutorial is from the Urban Decay Naked palette. I used Creep in this eyeshadow palette. So if you wanna see how to get that outer V, then just keep watching. I started to do this using a brown color just to try and show you guys using just neutral colors, but then when I blended it out, it wasn't like intense. I go over it with black just to give you guys a definite idea of how to do the outer V. So I'm just taking a pencil brush. This is by Coastal Scent. So I'm going to take this into a black eyeshadow. Okay, so what you want to do is you take the brush and you can start right where your the end of your lower lash line ends and meets to that one. What you're going to do is for the outer V, you want to take, starting in the corner, up as if you're going to meet the end of your eyebrow. So imagine like an invisible line right there. So you go up about halfway to your eyebrow, stopping at right where that bone is, where your eye socket is. Go up and then in where your crease is, and that is going to create that outer V. So I'm going to start that for you. I'm going to start in the corner and just do soft strokes, and you can also go in at an angle so that it kind of smudges in your the outer third of your lid as well. So kind of going up. Okay. Then go in and just take that about a third or half of the way in your crease. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but as you can see, it kind of starts to create a sideways V. Next step for that would just be to blend it out. And you can just take a fluffy crease brush, any type, just a flexible, fluffy one that's really easy to move. My suggestion for you is do not put any product on it and just start to blend that out very lightly. Kind of just go over that eyeshadow that you just placed and just blend it and start to move over it, doing circular motions, short little soft strokes, and moving it up. And when I blend that out, I like to kind of go up with it and then into your... Another little extra step that you can take to intensifying that outer V, connecting and smudging it to the lower lash line, since that's all going to connect like that. So again, with the pencil brush, just leave what's remaining on the brush from originally placing that and just smudging it there. So, and then I like to kind of connect it up and then back down. And I only go about the outer third of the lower lash line. So now it just kind of ties it all together, and it really just makes things more smoky and blended together looking. And then apply your eyeliner and your mascara and you're good to go.